If time's money, then our calendar's a budget. And if we take an honest look at our calendar, we can see where we're budgeting our time and evaluate if we're spending our time in the areas that will actually move the needle, or if we're overspending time on things that really won't make a difference for us. In the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the first and foremost habit is being proactive. And today we're going to talk about how we can use our calendar to block off the highest value behaviors proactively, so that we make sure we're spending our time in the places that will help us get to our goals and ultimately get a huge payday. Let's dive into the top 5 things you need to block off as a sales rep to be as effective as possible. If you find this video entertaining and/or informative, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for weekly tips to sell more and live more. So the first thing you need to block in your day is time to plan your day. Yes, you need to plan to plan. Mind blown. But failing to plan is planning to fail. In 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it talks about putting first things first. So you need to figure out for that day, and each day is dynamic and each day is different, what is my top priority or top 3 priorities related to work? Do I need to prepare for a big meeting and execute in that meeting? Do I need to spend time prospecting and building new business? Set up time to start your day, to plan out your day, and block that off in green. On top of blocking time for priorities related to your actual sales job, make sure to block time for things that will sharpen your saw. Another habit from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What that means is things that will renew your mind and your energy. Sustainability is key, so schedule time for mindfulness breaks. Schedule time to veg out on a goofy YouTube video that you enjoy after having a great call. Find ways to reward yourself. So start your day by intentionally creating your day. Create a day where you're in a position to be effective and get work done, but also enjoy yourself. The last thing you want to do is be your own slave driver. You've heard this before, but it's all about balance. The next thing you need to block off in red is your customer meetings. Customer meetings are the epitome of sales. They are the most important behavior there is, because a first meeting with a customer sets the tone for the whole relationship. And follow-up meetings are really important too. Anytime you're interacting with a customer, you need to show up on your A game. It all adds up. And a lot of deals in technology sales take quite a few calls. So make sure to block these customer calls off in red, because you're gonna want it to jump out at you. You're gonna wanna be proactive and schedule time to prepare for these calls too. And going into every call, make sure to begin with the end in mind. How do you wanna feel? How do you want the customer to feel? What questions do you wanna ask? What value do you wanna bring? What outcome and action do you want the customer to take? So block off these meetings in red and block off a little extra time prior for you to prepare and get in the zone to capitalize on these calls. The third thing you gotta schedule, and this one is critical, is time for prospecting. Prospecting is how we lay the foundation for future business, and one of the biggest mistakes reps make is neglecting prospecting. They get so caught up on their current opportunities and they become a prisoner to hope when there's a chance that deals will fall through. And what happens when you close or lose all the deals in your current pipeline? The well will run dry eventually. So scheduling time to reach out to clients via email, phone, and LinkedIn is critical. And I say all those 3 things because it is important to be multi-threaded and dynamic. So schedule time for initial emails to customers, schedule time for a follow-up reply all 2 days later, and then another follow-up reply all 2 days after that. And weave in some voicemails, weave in LinkedIn requests. Again, be multi-threaded, because over time, when you make noise, they're gonna know who you are. And know that being persistent with prospecting is critical. I gotta tell you a quick story. When I started at Oracle out of college in a business development role, there was a contact I reached out to for 9 months, and I never heard back from them. But finally in the 4th quarter, they responded and I ended up closing a deal. It was like a buzzer beater 3-pointer to win the game. And I ended up getting promoted to a closing role from a business development role because I found that opportunity. Persistence pays off. You have to schedule time for prospecting, just so the customer can know who you are, because they might reach out one day and you might get a buzzer beater deal in Q4 like I did. The fourth thing you need to schedule time for is internal meetings. There's internal meetings with your executive team or with your manager where you're giving updates and staying accountable to results. And those are important. And then there are internal meetings with your peers working on shared opportunities where you're strategizing on how to get an opportunity unstuck and how to move things forward. Those are critical as well. Block off internal meetings in yellow, but limit internal meetings as much as possible. We want to see a lot of red in our calendar, meaning a lot of customer meetings, and a lot of green, meaning a lot of net new prospecting. And finally, the fifth thing you need to block off in your calendar is time for learning, or sharpening the saw. If you're new to a sales role, you're going to spend a lot more time learning about your product, the industry, your customers, etc. But no matter how seasoned you are in your role, blocking off time for continual learning is critical. You'll discover new ways to improve the way you pitch to customers, the way you move opportunities forward, and you're just going to be better off. And maybe you want to be a leader one day and move from an individual contributor role. So block off time to proactively develop leadership skills. Whatever skills you want to work on, maybe it's negotiating, you need to improve there. Block off time to work on that skill. Block off time to get certifications, technical certifications that are going to make you more valuable and effective. Of course, block off time for learning about the industry. So those are the top 5 things you need to block off in your calendar in sales to be as effective as possible. These behaviors will move the needle. If you guys enjoyed this video and got value out of it, make sure to hit the like button because the YouTube algorithm will bless me and show this to more people who could benefit from the message. And make sure to subscribe because I'm coming at you every week with tips to sell more and live more. Wishing you all wild success. Happy selling and happy living.